Coach James Young is our hoop analyst extraordinaire on SportsGrid and on Coast to Coast. He's always in the gym, but then again, who isn't? I was in the gym today, knocking it down per usual, but not like Caitlin Clark yesterday, Coach, with a 35 burger. And the only time I've had 35, I had 36, and I lost the game. And my son told me I suck when you lose. But she won that game by one, and she's something else. Let's see. Assist record in the WNBA all time, and a 35 burger. I mean, she is a savage bee.
She's a savage bee, and Ferrall, always a pleasure to be on with you. And listen, she has gone on an absolute heater since coming back from the Olympic break. And I think this is what I try to explain to people is the break that she needed to kind of get going. So you kind of look at what she's done. Ferrall, since the Olympic break, the least amount of points that she's had is 18. She's got 20 or more in the majority of the games. She's gotten 8 to 9 assists almost every night, a bunch of rebounds. Ferrall, I said on my podcast last week, I thought that I said it last week, Caitlin Clark is the third best player in the WNBA. It's Asia Wilson, Brianna Stewart, Caitlin Clark. They will not, and Carver High and I were talking during the break. I know they will not give it to her because of the season Asia Wilson has, over 1,000 points, broke the scoring record. But if this lady was not on the Indiana Fever, where would they be? I mean, where would this team be? She's spearheaded this team that lost, their first 5 or 6 games to the number 6 seed. And I will say this right now. If they draw Connecticut in the first round, Ferrall, even as underdogs, I'm taking them to win this series because she is playing that good of basketball.
Well, look, I respect everything you say always with hoops in regards to that, but I think they'd be basically Dallas or LA without her. They'd be 7 to 9 wins. I think, for my money, and I hate to dispute, but I would say for my money, the Connecticut defense still to me is superior to anything that I've seen from the Fever. And I mean, when it's playoff time, they're going to ratchet it up, and they already have a great defense that we've seen, you've seen. I think they can cause problems if they were to play them, whatever it is. But the fact that they're a 6 is all because of her. Now, I think Aaliyah is a really good player, and I think she's even better because of this girl. Clark has made her a way better player than we ever have seen her at the pro level. You've seen her great in college, and she played on a team loaded with great players. She plays on this indie team with crap players without her, and then with her, you see the magic they got on the floor together. All it takes is 2 really good players, and you got a team in this league.
Well, I'll push back a little bit, Ferrall, because you're forgetting the third piece of this puzzle, and that's Kelsey Mitchell, who has been on an absolute heater since the Olympic break. She has gone over 20 points in every game but one. She had 30 points. So between CC and her, they had 68 points. She had 6 threes. I'm going to say this right now. That top 3, 4 if you add Alyssa Smith, but that top 3 of Clark, of Mitchell, and of Boston is really, really good, Ferrall. And here's the reason why I think they have a chance against Connecticut. Number one, Ferrall, they have beaten Connecticut, I think, once or twice this year. Once, they've lost 3 games. 2 of the games were in that losing streak to start the season, including a 4-point loss. Scotty, they're playing a lot better basketball. And what is the one thing that Connecticut can't do? Shoot the 3. And when you got Mitchell and you got Clark, Ferrall, they're a heater away from stealing a game. I think they could be in a series versus Connecticut.
Well, my thing is, and I respect everything you're saying, and you certainly know more than I do, but I'll say this. When I look at all those teams at the top of that league, they all are better than Indy on the road. Mm-hmm. They all win a lot of games on the road, and Indy doesn't. And I think it's going to catch up with them in the playoffs. Connecticut wins on the road all the time. They have 27 wins. They got 14 road wins. I mean, what do you need to know? And the Fever don't win on the road. Now, those teams, all that win, I mean, even Vegas, let me ask you about them really quick. So the Fever can't beat them, and I hear about how they keep getting closer and closer. Fair enough. But in a series, I don't think they can beat them. Do you think that the Aces have just been lollygagging because they've won back-to-back titles, knowing that when they flick a switch and be as good as they want to be with Wilson in the postseason?
If you look at the back of the basketball card, the answer is yes. When you look at their play, it's really the play of Gray, of Young, and of Plum, particularly shooting the ball from three. That is going to be the difference because, Scotty, the game is going to slow down. You know this. I know this. Half-court basketball, playoff time. They're going to crowd Asia Wilson's space. Those other three can go off. Ferrall, I know that the New York Liberty right now have the best record in the WNBA. But I've been telling people all season, watch out for Minnesota. They can defend. They have to arguably forget what she did in the Olympics. They may have the best coach in the world in Cheryl Reeve. And they got Nafisa Collier and Kayla McBride. And they went to New York. They beat New York again. And they won the series, if I got that right, and the Commissioner's Cup. That team's going to be dangerous, too. Got to watch out for Minnesota.
Well, they're both great at home. They're both 16-3 at home, and Minnesota's clearly, based on record, the second best team in the league, but they've beaten them, like you said. So those are teams, frankly, in my opinion, that Indy can't beat. And I think Vegas knows how to beat them. But those top-heavy teams are all really good, including Connecticut and, the champs, the two-time champs. So I think it's going to be incredible to see what happens. Watching Clark, what she's done this year, not a surprise to you and I. This is the same girl that did this in the NCAA tournament, in the NCAA season the last few years at Iowa. This is who she is. She is a dominant, savage bee.